Welcome to another video on Curious Mind, where we delve into the fascinating mysteries of the technological world. Today, we will immerse ourselves in a landscape where high technology, global competition, and innovation converge, giving rise to what many refer to as the war of the microchips. You've probably heard about the global shortage of semiconductors that has been affecting various industries around the world. But behind this seemingly straightforward scenario lies a complex and consequential story. Get ready to discover how geopolitical forces, the growing demand for technology, and the pursuit of innovation are shaping the future of the devices we use every day. So, if you're curious to learn about how the war of the microchips is impacting the world of technology and what challenges chip manufacturers are facing, don't miss a single second of this video. Let's embark on this fascinating journey at the forefront of technological innovation. Fasten your seatbelts, because the war of the microchips is about to begin. After disrupting the global industry due to unexpected shortages during the pandemic, semiconductors are now also at the center of a major geopolitical and economic contest that is beginning to unfold, a race led by the United States and China to see who will dominate what is expected to be the next major technological frontier. Also known as chips, semiconductors are tiny pieces of silicon with millions of internal circuits installed, increasingly forming the foundation of a wide range of things that enter people's lives, from smartphones, cars, and dishwashers to large data centers and even intercontinental ballistic missiles. As artificial intelligence advances and gains more prominence in our devices and daily lives, the world's appetite for these tiny electronic components is only expected to grow, making them a sort of future oil. And the major powers are well aware of this. The rise of the threat is evident, and the response and escalation of the conflict have come in the form of sanctions and trade limitations. The United States has already suspended sales of many of its sector's products to China, in a strategy aimed at restricting Chinese assembly plants' access to technologies developed by and owned by American companies. Pressured partners such as the Netherlands and Japan have also begun to do the same. In the most recent developments, Apple announced earlier this week a billion-dollar partnership with Broadcom, another semiconductor manufacturer from California's Silicon Valley, as a way to use more domestic chips in its devices and reduce dependence on the Chinese. Without technology on par with competitors, as the United States did, China has responded to restrictions by using its economic power as leverage. Last week, Xi Jinping's country claimed a threat to national security to ban the use of parts from Micron, the largest manufacturer of memory chips in the United States, in national infrastructure projects. The decree removes a massive market from the world's second richest country from the list of customers of the American company. Analyst consensus suggests that another card China holds is in Taiwan, the small neighboring territory historically claimed by the Chinese and which has been suffering from increasing signs of invasion threats. This would already place the world's largest semiconductor industrial park under China's control, except if it also collaborated to shut down local production or halt shipments to the rest of the world, as happened with grain and energy production after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. China's strategy in the microchip war against the West. As its microchip war against the United States intensifies, China is restricting exports of two key elements in the semiconductor industry. Under the new controls, special licenses will be required to export gallium and germanium from the Asian country, which is the world's second-largest economy. These elements are used in chip production and also have military uses. The restrictions were imposed after Washington limited Beijing's access to advanced microchip technology. The elements are known as minor metals, meaning they are generally not found pure in nature and are byproducts of other processes. Gallium arsenide, a compound of gallium and arsenic, is used in the manufacture of high-frequency computer chips, as well as in the production of light-emitting diodes, LEDs, and solar panels. Only a limited number of companies in the world produce gallium arsenide with the necessary purity for use in electronic components, according to CRMA. Germanium is also used in the manufacture of microprocessors and solar panels. It is also part of the production of vision lenses that are key for the military, says Hamilton. However, he added, there should be sufficient supplies of common metal foundries to have alternatives. The importance for production of high-tech semiconductors is more difficult to solve since China is dominant. There will probably be a trend towards recycling. Last month, a Pentagon spokesman said the U.S. had reserves of germanium but not gallium. The spokesman also said that the Department of Defense is taking steps to increase internal mining and processing of critical materials for the spatial and microelectronic supply chain, including gallium and germanium. Still, the restrictions on China's exports are expected to have a limited impact in the long run. Although China is the leading exporter of gallium and germanium, there are substitutes for these materials in component production such as computer chips, according to the Eurasia Group consultancy. There are also active mining and processing facilities located outside of China, the group added. The consultancy highlighted the similarities between this episode and China's restrictions on rare earth mineral exports over a decade ago. At that time, more exporters emerged, and in less than 10 years, China's dominance in rare mineral supply fell from 98% to 63%, according to the consultancy's estimates. We expect to see the development and exploration of alternative sources of gallium and germanium, as well as an intensification of efforts to recycle these products and identify more alternatives available, said Anna Ashton of the Eurasia Group to the BBC. This will not only be the result of China's decision to restrict exports, she says. It is the result of expectations of increased demand, intensified competition, and geostrategic distrust, as well as China's documented willingness to restrict imports and exports for political and strategic purposes. In October, Washington announced that it would require licenses from companies exporting chips to China and using U.S. tools or software, regardless of where they are manufactured in the world. China often accuses the United States of technological hegemony, in response to export controls imposed by Washington. In recent months, Beijing has also imposed restrictions on American companies with ties to the U.S. military, such as aerospace company Lockheed Martin. Meanwhile, Western governments have spoken about the need to wean themselves off China, not being so dependent on the Asian country in terms of raw materials and finished products. However, diversifying supply chains, developing the capacity to mine and, more importantly, process metals such as gallium and germanium will take years. Mineral-rich countries like Australia and Canada see the materials crisis as a long-term opportunity. Experts warn that using resources and technological capabilities as weapons, as the US and China have done, will also have global environmental consequences. This is because new important green technologies depend on these types of materials. This is not a national problem. It is a problem we face as a human race. We hope that lawmakers can bring their best proposals to the table, ensure access to critical materials essential for energy transition, and that we can begin to address some of the issues related to decarbonization, says Gavin Harper. While the impact of the latest export controls is not catastrophic for the industry or consumers, experts warn of the importance of paying attention to where this trend is headed. And so, we have reached the end of this journey through the intriguing world of the war of the microchips. I hope you have gained valuable insights into the challenges and opportunities that this global technological battle is presenting. We want to thank you for joining us on this exploration. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest news and technological advances, don't forget to subscribe to Curious Mind and activate notifications so you don't miss any content. Keep exploring, questioning, and discovering. And remember, in the world of microchips and technology, the only certainty is that the future will be as astonishing as the curious minds that shape it. Until next time.